Every time interest rates go up, it feels like a punch to the gut, doesn't it? For founders, investors, and leaders who've poured their blood and sweat into growth stocks, these hikes are like a bomb exploding under your feet. You watch your portfolio shrink, your valuation dreams get crushed, and the market's cold voice telling you, slow down, your time isn't now. The frustration is real. The anger bubbles up. You've seen your high-flying stocks tumble, investors pulling away, projects stalling, and it feels like no matter what you do, the system is pushing you down. But here's the brutal truth no one wants to hand you. Interest rate hikes don't just shift numbers on paper. They rip apart illusions. They expose who's playing a long game and who's riding the wave of cheap money and false hopes. Growth stocks live on dreams, the promise of future cash flows, innovation that will change the status quo. When rates rise, it's like the clock speeds up mercilessly. The magical, limitless valuations come crashing down because higher rates demand faster, more solid proof of value. Suddenly, those future profits must prove themselves worth more today, not in some distant tomorrow. And for many companies, that proof is nowhere near ready. You might feel panicked, tempted to dump everything and retreat to safer bets. But here's the secret you absolutely must grab and own. You don't have to be a victim of rising rates. You can harness this storm to separate the noise from real value and come out stronger. Step 1. Stop freaking out and start analyzing like a sniper. Forget every shiny valuation headline. Dig into the company's cash flow, that hidden pulse behind every stock chart. Are they burning cash like fireworks in July? Or is there a disciplined path to profitability? Because when borrowing costs rise, cash burn becomes a slow death sentence, choking the life out of even the boldest vision. Only companies with clear, manageable cash flows will survive this reshaping. Force yourself to be ruthlessly honest here. Can the company keep innovating, pushing growth, despite higher financing costs? If not, it's time to cut losses fast. Painful, but necessary. Step 2. Look at debt like a hawk stalking prey. If you don't understand the structure, terms, and real cost of a company's debt in this new high-rate environment, you're playing Russian roulette. Higher interest doesn't just mean more expensive borrowing. It means increased risk of default, refinancing nightmares, and dwindling investor trust. Hunt down that info before the market blindsides you. And if you see debt piling like landmines, start moving out decisively. Your capital is your weapon. Don't waste it on a company with a death sentence on the balance sheet. Next, double down on companies with real, undeniable competitive moats. If the business can raise prices without losing customers, or deliver unique advantages no one can imitate quickly, it will weather the rate storm far better than flash-in-the-pan startups. Growth stocks with network effects, proprietary tech, or dominant market share are not just surviving, they're hunting for those who underestimated them. Find those. Back those. This is where your edge as a founder or investor who sees beyond the obvious pays off in spades. Now, here's a tip almost nobody whispers, but you need to blindside your competition with it. Shift your mindset on time horizons. High rates reward patience and precision, not desperation and hype. If you're too short-term focused, the market will chew you up. If you're too long-term without a viable cash plan, you're just gambling. The magic happens when you find that razor's edge. Companies accelerating toward profitability with controlled spending and a realistic path forward. Invest with surgical precision on those timelines. Dump what's chasing distractions. This clarity is your power in chaos. And don't just wait for conditions to normalize. They won't. The world post-rate hikes is a different battlefield with new rules. You must adapt instantly, ruthlessly remix your portfolio to fit this new reality. What worked with near-zero interest rates, reckless bets on infinite growth, is over. This is a moment demanding strategic recalibration, not wishful thinking. Your focus must be on durability, cash discipline, and real innovation that commands pricing power. Find those rare companies that build resilience while others fold. Those are your winners. They don't shout the loudest, and they don't rely on hype. They grind, deliver results, and demand respect. Here's an emotional truth. The system designed to give you comfort made you lazy. It tempted you to chase hype and ignore fundamentals. Now it's punishing that ignorance. This is your wake-up call, your chance to rise above the mediocre masses who cling to old assumptions while the future slips through their hands. This fight isn't just about money or the market. It's about your freedom to build, to invest, to transform reality on your own terms, unshackled by illusions. So, don't let anger and frustration paralyze you. Use that fire to fuel relentless learning. Track real cash flows. Read debt covenants like a detective reads secrets. Hunt competitive moats like a wolf hunts prey. Sharpen your time horizon until it cuts through market noise like a laser. And above all, embrace the brutal new reality without flinching. This is your battlefield. Own it. Adapt faster than anyone else. Position yourself not as a victim, but as the rare architect of transformation. Remember, rising rates show you the truth behind the curtain. They expose who truly understands growth, value, and resilience. And this is only the beginning of a new era. Those who master this will not just survive, they'll redefine the game and unleash potential that was always buried beneath market illusions. This is your call to action. Reject easy narratives. Break free from the comfortable lies. Dive into the raw, messy, and beautiful truth of markets under pressure. Build your strategy there, because the future belongs to those who see clearly, act decisively, and refuse to be victims of a broken system. This moment is painful, yes, but it's also pure opportunity screaming for the brave, the sharp, the relentless. Lean into it. Sharpen your vision. Harness the winds of change rather than running from them, because when rates climb, everyone else flees. You step forward. You conquer. You build the future others only dream of. This is not just investing. This is revival. This is freedom. This is what makes the impossible inevitable.